One of the best times of every year has finally arrived, the NFL playoffs. This season has been like none other, and the playoffs will be as well, marking the first season after the change to 7 teams. Today, we're going to outline our playoff predictions. Being a two-person operation, we're going to discuss both of our expectations. So let's talk about who Jackson and I predict will surprise people this year and win Super Bowl 55. First, I'd like to acknowledge that the majority of the people who watch our videos aren't subscribed to the channel. Help us out by subscribing and joining us on our way to 100K because it's coming fast and you don't want to miss your opportunity to enlist in the J&D Army. Starting off the bat with the AFC side of the wildcard round, we both went chalk for the first two matchups. Ultimately, the number 2 Buffalo Bills have been one of the best teams in the league in the last few weeks, and while Indianapolis does have a stellar defense, the number 7 Colts simply don't have enough star power to hang with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, ultimately taking down Phillip Rivers in what could be his last game in the NFL. Also, the number 3 Pittsburgh Steelers have had their issues in recent weeks, struggling against teams you wouldn't expect them to, but we expect them to still be able to overtake the number 6 Cleveland Browns, who are currently dealing with head coach COVID-19 problems.
The last matchup in the AFC is the number 5 Baltimore Ravens facing off against the number 4 Tennessee Titans. The first game we disagree on. Darren sticks with the Titans, who knocked off the Ravens in the playoff last year and defeated them again this regular season. However, I actually disagree. I'm going to take Baltimore finally getting their revenge against Derrick Henry and the Titans. Once we get a little further in the video, I'll talk a little bit more about the Ravens and why I think they are a very, very good team to pick in the playoffs this year. On the NFC side, we agreed on every single matchup though. The number 2 New Orleans Saints have been one of the best teams in the league again this season, and they should definitely be enough to overpower the number 7 Chicago Bears, who, let's be honest, barely snuck into the playoffs. The number 6 Los Angeles Rams against the number 3 Seattle Seahawks is going to be a very interesting matchup. The two split their season series in 2020, and the Rams certainly do have a shot to take down Russell Wilson, but we lean with the Seahawks here. Finally, the NFC East champ, number 4 Washington takes on Tom Brady and the number 5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, personally, and yes, I'm a Washington fan, I think Washington may have more of a shot than people think here, but taking any NFC East team to take down Brady in the playoffs feels like a huge reach, especially this year. In the divisional round, the only different matchup we have is the opponent for the number 1 Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. Darren has the Chiefs taking down the Titans. I actually disagree here again. Like I said, I have the Ravens going far in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is back to playing at an elite level to close out this season, and I actually expect Baltimore to be hungry to prove a lot of people wrong this postseason. The Ravens have a fantastic team, and I think they can definitely make a run. On the other side of the AFC, we did both take the Bills to beat the Steelers.
In the NFC divisional round, we both stuck with chalk. The number 5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been good this year, but seeing them take down Aaron Rodgers and company is hard to bet on considering his play as of late. Also, the Saints will face the Seattle Seahawks. While Seattle has seemed to fix their issues on the defensive side of the ball, not only do I believe the Saints defense is better, but I'd argue that the whole team is. Russell Wilson alone can only carry this team so far. We both see Breeze getting the best of Seattle as they will move on to set up a number 1 Packers versus number 2 Saints matchup for the NFC Championship. Aaron Rodgers without a doubt has been on a different level this season, but over the last 2 decades, no MVP has gone on to win the Super Bowl. We expect that trend to continue, both taking the Drew Brees-led Saints to down Rodgers in an offensive shootout to win only their 2nd NFC championship in franchise history. My AFC championship prediction will boast a game of the top 2 teams in the conference between the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills. Buffalo has been incredible towards the end of the season, potentially the best team over the span. Their offensive production has been outrageous, only trailing the Green Bay Packers in points per game this season. But Patrick Mahomes is a different breed, and betting against him always feels unwise. I see the Chiefs putting an end to Buffalo's stellar season in a game that will be must-watch TV.
On my bracket, the Bills will face off against the Ravens after taking down the Chiefs. In a battle between quarterbacks from the 2018 NFL Draft, I think the former MVP will get the best of the Bills. Jackson has had a statistical down year and lost a lot of respect from people, somewhat similar to what happened to Mahomes last year before he went on to capture his first Super Bowl. I think Jackson can get the job done for Baltimore and propel them to their first Super Bowl since 2012. That of course sets up a hypothetical matchup between the Saints and Ravens in my predictions. The two haven't faced each other since since early 2018 when Jackson was still backing up Joe Flacco as a rookie. Ultimately, as much as I love the Ravens, I think the script is there for Drew Brees to close out.
I expect this to be a true nail-biter of a game, but I have the defending Super Bowl champs falling to Brees, with New Orleans finally getting revenge for their postseason horrors of the last 3 years. I want to make it clear here at the end of the video that we did not even talk about our playoff predictions before working on this. We filled out everything separately and ironically had the same winner at the end. Honestly, I think Jackson has predicted the New Orleans Saints to win the last 3 Super Bowls, but he's got to be right at some point, I guess. Regardless, we think that the path to Drew Brees ending his career on top is present, but after all, these are just predictions. Thanks for watching. If you love J&D Productions, check out J&D Hoops, where we recently uploaded our first video. Go subscribe and hit that notification bell, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more J&D. We read all of our DMs and love hearing what you have to say.